Okay, so today we're going to talk about peer feedback. The people who know me, people in that profession, they know my obsession with peer feedback. I think I have this obsession because, yes, I'm honest to you guys, I don't like marking, okay? I don't. Like, if there is a way to avoid it, I will choose this way to avoid it, especially when because I have like 150 students total, like, you know, that like you cannot give the same amount of attention to each one of your students. And the thing is that most institutions do not give you sufficient time to mark your papers. So today we're going to talk about peer feedback in an online environment. This is something I do in my face-to-face classes. Like usually we have 3 to 4 feedback sessions per semester, and usually half of them are conducted online. But usually it's a live session. I have the students in my classroom with their laptops, and I coordinate the whole thing. But now it's a different situation. I'm going to show you how I use 2 different software, 2 different websites. The first one is going to be Beer Great. It's an amazing website. I found it accidentally through a post on LinkedIn, I think from Nick Peachy, like a couple of years ago, and it's amazing. And then I'm going to show you a couple of new features in Padlet. I'm sure you know them. I'm just going to refer to them. I think Padlet nowadays is something that most people are aware of. Also, at the end of this session, finally, we have received permission, and I'm going to give you a certificate of attendance for this webinar. It's going to be in a Word file with my signature. You can add your name and then save it as a PDF. Okay, this is something I'm going to share with you at the end of this session. I want to make sure that people, you know, it's about credibility. People who get the certificate of attendance are the people who, you know, have attended the webinar. Someone asked, is Padlet available? Yes, everything is available. It's a new government policy inside universities. In our university, for example, you don't need a VPN anymore, and Padlet is accessible in China. And to be honest with you, and let's be honest with each other, all students have VPN, okay? Like all of them, especially those who study abroad, all of them have. So, peer feedback through technology, why I like this, and I don't, you know, go for the usual, you know, let's swipe our cards, let's swipe our papers and let's do some peer feedback, is because students get really, really motivated when technology is involved. So I've done my research, I've done my studying, and peer learning, first of all, a few people, I know a few colleagues who don't believe in it. I believe in that, not only because I am lazy and I don't like marking, because I think students need to learn to be autonomous. You have to teach those people to cope on their own. And when you're a student in a university, you will find yourself, oh my goodness, I'm looking at the questions. I will stop looking at the questions. So they have to learn to be autonomous. They have to learn how to cope on their own, and they have to be able to check their own work. So technology enhanced learning, you know, this is the name of our SIG. I think it gives like significant skills to our students, very important skills. They become self-sufficient. And this is the most important thing for me. I don't like students who send me an email asking me very simple things about their essays. They have to be able to know on their own. And this is something I wasn't able to do this semester, like very much. We conducted some peer feedback sessions through forum discussions. Guys, don't do it. it's not successful. Okay, this is something that I did in my personal Moodle page. Like I was trying different things, different systems, and I created some forum discussions. And we were like, oh, take pictures of your notes, post them on this forum discussion, and then try to comment on each other's work. This will never work. It never worked because they have their name on their Moodle page and they will never do it. Okay. So as Hosek 2004 said, when students provide their feedback anonymously, they're less worried, they're more honest. That's why I love peer grade, because it gives you that anonymity. Guys, like I've even tried this in class. There is no way they're going to be honest. They're going to say, oh, everything is fine, everything is perfect, even if everything is horrible. So why peer grade? It's a free website. Students submit their essay, classmates receive the text anonymously and vice versa. So this website like distributes the essay, it mixes them and distributes them, and then you don't know which one you got. And actually you have the choice to shuffle 3 times. So one person is going to mark 3 papers. Okay, that gives you like, I don't suggest like to do that at the beginning of the process, but at the end of it, like, I think it's very, very useful. So how to create an assignment, I'm going to show you with pictures, but these are some basic steps. You click create assignment, you give the title if you want a description, you create the feedback rubric, and then you set dates or live feedback mode. In our situation this semester, I don't recommend the live feedback mode, okay, because you have to be there to coordinate things. But if you set the dates, it's more like a Moodle assignment. And it works just fine. So you go here, this is the website, peer grade. Like if you Google it, it's going to be the first one. So you click on, you have to register, you know, the usual things. Log in, I repeat, it's free, it's completely free. Create assignment. And then you see that, like the title, the description, you can even add the file. And then, for example, this is something I created for my students. This is statement, climate change essay. Write the thesis statement for the following essay title. Outline the causes and effects of climate change in the UK. This is the details, and then you go to the rubric. So you can create everything. These are open-ended. You can also create like multiple choice questions, like mention something that your classmate did well, mention something that your classmate could improve that. These are very vague examples. I usually try to create something more concrete and specific. For example, I divide my feedback into surface level, like grammatical mistakes, cohesion and coherence. For example, can you find a link in the advice in every single sentence? Or for example, in that thesis statement, I would add something like, did that thesis statement project a specific, for example, thesis opinion stance? So try to make it as specific as possible. Of course, you can see you can add like explanation, which is amazing. And then you have 3 options. This one is coming soon. I don't know if they have created that. I just go with what I know best. This is a live session, like they log in with a password and you do the whole thing in class. You cannot do it, obviously. Don't try through Teams, it's going to be a chaos. So try the homework, you set deadlines for submission and peer review, and then it looks like a Moodle assignment. Submission period begins, our deadline, submission period ends, and the review, like how many days they have for peer feedback. Here you can see they can log in with that password. They go to that website, peergrade.io/join, or you can invite them through their emails. And I believe it's very, very useful. You can go here like class settings, and then you get a summary. You are the only person who can see the comments, who made that comment to which student. So you are the only one who has the whole information. And this is something my students enjoy, and they give real feedback. Like they really give feedback. They don't write things such as everything is perfect and things like that. Now let's go to, let's go to Padlet. So Padlet has added a few features. I'm going to talk about briefly why I like Padlet. I have tried both things. So I've tried using Padlet inside the class for peer feedback, which is a bit, I don't like it because I have to find a way to, categorize the posts, try to say who's going to get which post, and then it's a little bit confusing for me. Okay, so you can have something more open-ended. You can comment on any post you like. And at some point I realized that I'm losing time in class. So I used to create the Padlet before, like a day before or 2 days before the task that I wanted to do peer feedback. I was sending them the link via email, and I was like, go there, post. And then I used to do only the peer feedback session in class. But this is something you can do as well, like to change things if something is not very important. I suggest, like, for very important tasks, choose peer grade. But something like more open-ended, something more creative, you can go for Padlet. Padlet has added a few features. I really like those features. You can see one of my students' posts, and now it's something like Facebook, I think. You have reactions, like you have like or dislike, and then comments. For example, here you can see fifth line, and all of them choose anonymous. Okay, it's not only about GDRB regulations. This is something I tell them to do. Anonymous. Okay, don't write your name. They have that choice not to write down their name, and that's excellent. So fifth line, Yuan et al. Have shown that maybe there is no need to add a comma after et al. So we have a comment about citations. At the beginning, the essay discussed the personal guidance from bank, while the last one sentence we're talking about internet. I can't get where the connection is. So you can see a comment about argumentation. Guys, this is something I've seen only through peer grade and Padlet. When I conduct peer feedback the usual way, the old way, I never see comments like that, especially with checklists. I really like checklists myself, but I don't like it. Also, Padlet has added another feature, like you can actually grade the post. Like you can add a grade, like 80%, 90%. Like if your students have a pass rate for their essay and they're doing something on that, then they can add also a grade, which is very, very good. Like I've tried it for a very long time, again and again, just to see if that works with Padlet, and it works. You can see, for example, the last comment. So the topic sentence is a solution to expand the users of mobile banking. I didn't see a clear topic sentence. It included 2 solutions in 1 paragraph. So I can see some really in-depth comments. For example, at UCL, we used to have those different checklists. So at the beginning of the peer feedback session, we used to give them really detailed checklists and questions So the only thing they were doing was just tick or cross, yes or no. So now that they are at home and they have more time to reflect and read things, and they don't have this, you know, deadline, oh, you have 5 minutes to do that, you have 7 minutes to do that. I think they can really pay attention to peer feedback. I can see some questions. Yeah. Yes, likes, dislikes exist on Padlet, and also grading for some time. Yes, like for example, I conduct the Padlet peer feedback session if it's a thesis statement or if it's an introduction. Why? Because in these parts of the essay, we have more or less a specific structure that the students are supposed to follow. So they have specific things to go through. Okay, so for example, if you have an online class and you're going to send them like a Padlet link, like make sure you train them first. Like try to mention in your screencast or during your online lecture, try to mention the things you want them to pay attention to. Usually with this kind of open-ended feedback, I write on the board or I send them an email and I say to them, I want you to pay attention to those 4 specific things: thesis statement, structure of the paragraph, topic sentence. Yes, they can maybe make videos, but yeah. Yeah, but for example, maybe the video thing is not going to work in China. Like my experience with that, especially here in this country, is like, don't try to make the Padlet page very, very heavy. It may not load. At the beginning, we had huge issues even with Moodle. Students could not open the videos. So try to use, there is another Microsoft application, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name, it's a Microsoft Office, Microsoft 365, where you can upload videos. But this is something I don't suggest for Chinese students with Padlet. It may not work for all of them. But if you have just posts, I think 95% this is going to work. But it's the same with peer grade, like try to have some multiple choice questions, because if they see a bunch of open-ended questions, they get frightened. They're thinking, how am I supposed to do that? But try to have a variety, half of them multiple choice, and then especially for argumentation, try to have more open-ended questions and make them reply to them. I also suggest, because of the situation, you need to motivate them. You need to give them an incentive. Yes, okay, thank you. Microsoft Stream, someone sent me a private message. Thank you so much. Yes, Microsoft Stream. You can upload all the videos there. I have also uploaded those webinars for people in my organization who don't have access to YouTube or a VPN. So try to accommodate their needs. Try to find out which websites they can access. But I have tried both in my Chinese classroom in China, and they work. And actually I used peer grade for one of my formal teaching observations, and it went just fine. What I was saying, yes, so try to create a variety of questions and try to give them something very, very, you know, an incentive, something to motivate them. For example, I say to them that if you conduct a peer feedback and you reply to each other, what they want, basically, I'm going to check your essay, for example, or I'm going to upload a video to give you feedback, or I'm going to explain to you a model answer. Or for example, you can make this the same thing we did here. Like if you don't do your peer feedback in the forum discussions, you are going to be considered as absent this week. Okay, so try to give them something to make them do it. Most of them are going to do it, but you know, there is always a 5% that is not going to accept that, and they're going to be lazy, but. So why peer feedback in an online lecture? Okay, why I insist you do it even through this horrible situation? Why? Because it's very useful. Remember that they're going to be more autonomous. Remember that, okay, there is an online environment, but they have to get what they're supposed to get from your class. And this is the most important thing. And remember that peer feedback, especially if you have like good students and bad students, both of them are going to benefit from each other. So that's why I suggest use peer grade. At the beginning, stick to one, like one student is going to give feedback, one paper, one, and then as they become more used to it, then you can add 2, and finally you can add 3, because then they will have the experience, they will be exposed to different kinds of writing, and that will give them the experience to, you know, mark their own work, not bothering you with like silly questions. So they will become more experienced writers. Yes, in a shared Word doc, yes, but I don't think how anonymous that is going to be. Remember, anonymity. Peer grade gives anonymity. And that's the most important thing. I've tried it. This is my research conclusion. After 3 years, I'm using peer feedback systematically, both traditionally and through technology enhanced learning means. And I'm telling you, if there is no anonymity, the peer feedback session is useless. They're going like in a Word document. I don't know how easy it's going to be for all of them. They have, some of them have Macs. I still try to persuade them and remind them, submit your essay in a Word file. Okay, so at least they have the chance, they go there, they write it, and then you can do the job quickly. So remember, this is anonymous. They don't want other people to see the comments on their work, okay? They have a huge problem with that. Okay, you cannot embed peer grade into Moodle, okay? It's a different website. I don't know if you can do it. I have to educate myself in that, but it's a different website and it works like Moodle. Why we cannot do that through Moodle? Because Moodle doesn't have this option, doesn't have this, you know, tools. You cannot do peer feedback. You cannot shuffle the essays. And then there is no, you know, an algorithm to send them to students anonymously. Yes, Carol says Europa can be embedded to Moodle. But my experience with Moodle this semester, don't rely on Moodle too much. Like try to use different software as well, because Moodle, especially in our institution that we use it very extensively, it has become very slow. Okay, and because Moodle is .ac.uk, you need 20 or 30 seconds to load. For example, this weekend we had a huge problem with Turnitin, but like this is something that you can do unofficially, like they allow us to do it here, and we are like a UK institution. This is something I have done through other unis. You can use peer grade just to make sure your students get the most out of your sessions. Yes, my experience, my personal experience is that they meet, guys, your students are going to meet. If all of them are Chinese, they're going to meet through WeChat. They're going to see each other's names somewhere. This is something they've done in my case. I went to the classroom and I humiliated myself on Monday. I tried to do some, ice-breaking activities, and they were like, Miss, we know each other. And I was like, from where? WeChat. So if all of them are Chinese, they're going to meet through WeChat, they're going to help each other. So this anonymity has helped us, because the forum discussions, peer feedback thing with their names and faces didn't help. It was a complete disaster. I had only 7 comments. Okay, they couldn't care less. They prefer to take the absence. Okay, they prefer that, to be considered as absent. Like, even with Flipgrid, yes, they replied to each other and they were like, oh, your video is amazing. Like, this is the only thing they do. They're saying to each other how amazing they are. So go for that, try it. It's a different way if you can do it through your institutions. And actually you can use those tools even if this situation finishes. I found peer grade like very, very useful. Let me see some other questions. Yes, you really need to unpack. You really need to avoid jargon. Like, keep it simple. When you give instructions for the peer feedback, when you create questions, the rubric, the checklists, keep it simple, okay? Or at least use terms that you use very regularly with them, and then they're used to it. I think it's about the face. Yes, you can create in Turnitin. You can create your own quick marks. You have to add the file as QMS, but this is something that you can create very, very fast, very quickly. On 20th of May, we're going to have another workshop, which is coding for Moodle. This is something I'm going to announce very, very quickly. As far as WeChat, I meant that there is no anonymity through Moodle, because they're going to meet with each other through WeChat. They're going to know each other, especially if they know you. They cannot be honest to you, like to your face. Okay, let me see some other questions. Okay. Absolutely, absolutely. Because you choose which students are going to get the password of that specific task, or you can invite them through the email. So you can organize your students into groups, but like, try to think about that. If you have like a very small group, you cannot do it with 5 people only, because they need the software needs to shuffle the papers, and then all of them are going to end up looking at the same essay. So you need to have 7 or 10 students at least. I think that's going to work just fine. Like, the more you have, the better. But of course, you can organize your students into smaller groups, and it works just fine. And also, what I do sometimes, and then after you conduct the peer feedback, in my opinion, and this is something I have found out through my research, like, you need to have some global feedback session. So if you don't want to do it through a live Zoom session, what I usually do, I record a video, like 2 or 3 minutes. I explain global mistakes, because most of them are going to make the same mistakes. And then I upload it in my personal Moodle page. Guys, if you're going to teach online pre-sessionals, please tell your institutions to have personal Moodle page, exactly the way we do here at Nottingham. It's going to save you. It's so useful, because they have your face, they have a specific page to go to, and you can post anything you like. Like, instead of writing or writing long text that no student is going to read, you can create videos and post them there, and they can look at them at their own time. Okay, thank you very much. Guys, do you have any other questions? Anything else you would like me to clarify? Okay. Let me announce a few things. We have a new Microsoft Teams group, like 100 people signed up. Thank you. Oh, clarify my last point. Which of them? For my personal Moodle page. Okay, so like here at Nottingham, every tutor has their own personal Moodle page. This is how we call it. So if you log into Moodle, for example, let me see, maybe I will be able to show you right away, desktop. Okay, so let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so let me go. This is, oh no, this is SharePoint. This is Moodle. You can see, like guys, for example, that's why I'm telling you, look how much we rely on Moodle this semester. Like, so, like the students told us we have like an early feedback session about the course, and they say there's so much amount of information on Moodle, they get lost. That's why I told you, choose something different. Okay, try to do a few activities outside of Moodle. Okay, I have to log in again. It's gonna take a moment. Okay. So let me show you again about the famous personal Moodle page. So you log into Moodle and you go here, you have all your modules. You can see my colleagues, for example, and this is me. So there is like a page, a Moodle page with your name. Normally here you can see my picture, an introductory video. For example, at the end of every week, we used to post like a video to summarize the week or give global feedback and instructions for live session. Like if we have tutorials or if we have like a live session, I give them instructions via video, what they're supposed to do. You can see our forum discussions. I want you to see how unsuccessful they were, okay? They were really unsuccessful. I posted something like grammar practice, passive voice, no one. I begged them through our live session, they completely ignored me. So if you're planning your courses, don't, okay? Forum discussions do not work. This is the place they were supposed to submit everything. They're going to get it wrong, okay? You can see each of my class has their own link. No, they're going to go to the first one and they're going to submit it there, okay? I'm telling you the truth, things that are going to work and things that cannot work. So the videos, like I've taken down most of them, but they work. They're going to watch the video because they're interested in you, okay? They're interested seeing your face, talking to you, saying this, lawai. This is how they call us, lawai. We are the foreigners. So this is successful, this is completely unsuccessful. I'm telling you the truth. They participate, they contributed to the forum discussion the first week only. So this is the personal Moodle page, and you can add everything you like. So please do it. It's going to be useful, but not forum discussions. Videos, stick to the videos. Okay, let me make some announcements. Okay, favorite active videos, they're interested in you. Quizzes, Online quizzes. I have another module. They're really, really interested in online quizzes, especially with multiple choice ones. Okay, we have someone suggest like to compare different tools. I'm really interested in that. We can go to our Microsoft Teams group and we can do that. That would be amazing. Yes, Moodle chat. But from my experience so far, I don't know. With forum discussions in oral communication skills, the first 4 weeks, we even try to create like controversial topics. They were really up to it. But now I send emails, please contribute to your forum discussion. No, they won't do it. I don't know, they have given up. So you can try it, but from our experience here, I don't think it's the best idea. At some point, they're going to get bored and they're going to choose for something completely different. We have done this, guys. We tell them that if you don't contribute to your forum discussion, you're going to be considered as absent. They couldn't care less. I know, nope. They couldn't care less. I don't know what's going on with them, okay? We have one student, he returned to the face-to-face teaching this week and he hasn't done anything online the whole semester. I want to tell you something because I live in this country. If they don't get into the classroom, they don't think they actually had the class. They don't really believe in this online thing. According to the Chinese government, online teaching is not teaching, okay? Only if you are inside a classroom, okay? So make sure you have that in your mind when it comes to motivation. That's the truth. I told you, we have some students, they returned this week, they are in the classroom, they participate, and they haven't submitted anything online the whole semester. When you ask them, they're like, online teaching is not real class, so why should I contribute? And this is something that comes from their parents as well. So motivation is really, really, really important, okay? Not all of them, but you may find some of them who really, really think that. And to be honest with you, I don't know, maybe forum discussions are really, really successful with tutors that they are 24/7 in front of a computer and they contribute and they reply to each and every comment they make. But this is impossible, okay? I really try to do it, but when you have to mark, when you have to teach, when you have to record things and then contribute to a forum discussion, I don't know how this is doable. This is one of the things, actually, I think it's the only thing that I can say 100% it didn't work. Yes, but you know what they're doing, these online companies with online students? They also have face-to-face classes with English teachers. They use these online companies as supplementary of the supplementary, okay? Because they go to school, they learn English, and then they go to a second school face-to-face, they have a native English speaker, they learn English, and then during the weekends, their parents put them in these online companies, okay? So, yes. I know you can make it meaningful. That's why we are here to exchange opinions. I'm telling you from my experience, for me, forum discussions didn't work. Some of them did, some of them didn't work. So please, like if someone succeeds in forum discussions, he can come here. We have an open platform from everyone. Try to let us know how we can do this. So let me announce a few things. Let me announce a few things because the upcoming weeks are going to be Really, really exciting. Next week, we have Pete Sharma. He's going to talk about his experience about online teaching, for example, Zoom live sessions, several tech tools. He's going to talk about implications for teacher training. Also, I'm going to send the abstract and the structure of his talk like after this webinar. Of course, we are going to give a certificate of attendance. Now we have this permission. The following week, we have an exciting workshop about coding for Moodle. And then the next week, the third week of May, the last week of May, we have our secretary, Craig Coulson. He's going to talk about how to teach writing in online environments. And then we have Yolanda, the first week of June. She's going to talk about Microsoft Teams. We may conduct that webinar through Microsoft Teams. We will let you know. The coding session is 20th of May. I begged the coding person here in our uni to do that. It's going to be really useful for me as well. I'm still learning. And exciting things are coming. Exciting things are coming. Let me send you the certificate of attendance. I would like to ask if everyone knows, like I'm going to send you the certificate of attendance through a Word file. You can add your name, it has my signature, and you can save it as a PDF. But for example, I have attended webinars that they have the certificate of attendance like in a PDF, and the only thing that you can edit is the name, the section of the name. If someone knows how we can do this, please let us know. Okay. A very interesting comment. Oh yeah. Yes, thank you, Stephen. Yes, that's the truth. The forum discussions tend to fade away. That's the truth. It succeeded for the first 4 weeks, and then I'm telling you guys, I'm doing everything I can. They even stopped coming to the Zoom live sessions. Like once out of 18 students, I had only 8 people. And these people came to the face-to-face class. And they were really, really good students. So I'm telling you, it's a matter of, you know, attitude. But anyway, we're going to make it. Thank you very much for attending. Next week, please stay tuned for Pete Sharma. We have planned amazing things, guys. We're going to have breakout rooms. You can see how breakout rooms work. It's going to be amazing. Thank you very much. Go to our YouTube channel. You will be able to find this and all of the webinars there. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thanks for attending, everyone. Yes, I know, Clive, I'm honest. What can we do?